There was a sneaky little headline that somehow managed to fall through the cracks. And this involves a major PlayStation exclusive coming over to the Xbox platform. But let's break that all down. Up next. What's going on, guys? It's Kalo, and I'm here to give you the lowdown on all things gaming. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and welcome to the Level Up. Also, before we get into today's news, we finally did it. We hit 900 subscribers on this here channel, and it looks like we're closing in on 1,000. I honestly can't thank you guys enough for the support, the subscribes, the likes, the comments, everything. I'm really grateful for it, and I look to continue it moving forward. Alright, so this is a nice change of pace talking about this news today, seeing how it's always been anything and everything Nintendo this week. So what's happening here today is a rather unannounced yet unexpected development, being Death Stranding is now available on the Xbox platform. This is a major bit of news considering how the Death Stranding IP was a major exclusive for the PlayStation platform. And this announcement came from Kojima Productions themselves, that the Death Stranding Director's Cut was just released out of the blue on Xbox and PC. And again, I just want to say a PlayStation-owned IP, well, at least prior, is now available on the Xbox platform, which is insane to say out loud, but we're gonna get more into that later. As it stands right now, it's available for $20 or so, which is a pretty damn good deal, considering how they could have gone full price with this one very easily. Not only that, but it does have Play Anywhere support, so if you get it on the PC, you can play it on your Xbox through the cloud, your saves will transfer over, which it's a good addition. Now for the bit that's sure to ruffle some feathers out there, but we're gonna talk about PlayStation supporting a game that's now available on the Xbox platform. This is the first game of its kind outside of something like MLB The Show, but PlayStation doesn't own the MLB license just for the show part, so I'm not really gonna count it. This is a homegrown IP, in part with Kojima Productions, which this does beg the question, how on earth did this all come to be? Well, it turns out Kojima Productions outright bought the Death Stranding IP from Sony. So they fully own the franchise, and they're free to do what they want with it. But this brings up another point that's being overlooked. We do have another entry in the Death Stranding franchise on the horizon, being Death Stranding 2 on the beach. And I kinda wanna know, will this change of power in holding the IP affect this future release? Honestly, I don't really think so because I'm sure there's some type of exclusivity deal prior to all this going down that I'm sure was signed by Kojima Productions and Sony. But Sony no longer owns this franchise. And let's just live in a world where they might not have struck a deal between the two sides. You really don't know what the future holds here. What I do think will happen in the more plausible world is some type of timed exclusivity deal, much like we're seeing right now, and this involves the game kind of just being on the PlayStation platform for so long, then down the line we're gonna see it on Xbox. Let's not forget this is not only Xbox we can talk about now, and I did promise to not talk about Nintendo, but here we are. I am looking at Nintendo here. Getting a game like Death Stranding, and in this case I'm gonna go with the first one right now, would be a massive hit for them. And if the Switch 2 could handle it, why not Death Stranding 2 as well? Now we can of course factor in this idea of the polarizing opinions around the game, and whether or not it's a glorified walking sim, and honestly, that's up to you. But at the end of the day, this game sold 10,000 copies, which is not a small number. That makes me wonder why Sony was so willing to sell it off so easily, which again, I think is uncharacteristic of them, mainly because they tend to hold on to IP for as long as possible, and now, in theory, an Xbox port of Death Stranding 2 is entirely possible. And most likely, it will happen. But with all that being said, I'm gonna pass this one off to you guys. What do you think about Death Stranding being on Xbox now? But that about does it here. I've been Kalo, I gave you the lowdown on all things gaming, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to this channel for weekly video game news content. Drop a like on the video, and this has been the Level Up.